So I thought I'd show off the M14 that I picked up. Now this is a Norinco M105, which is a 308, basically M14. So it's made in China, but what happened was when the States stopped, USA, stopped manufacturing the M14, they sold off all their dies and manufacturing gear for the M14 to China. Probably because they're so much in debt with China that was one of their ways to exempt the debt, was give them their firearms. This one, the M14. So now the Chinese, I believe the Koreans are using it as well, and a few others, possibly the Japanese, are using this firearm. So this one's sold off as, of course, a civilian issue, and that's the story of the Norinco and how it basically came to be. Now this isn't Norinco the company, this is just this firearm from Norinco. So we've got a metal heat shield on it, and as you can see it's not as nice as the M14s that you would buy in the States or the real M14. There were some product issues of quality control that of course are a little less with Norinco than you get with an M14. You buy an American M14, you're probably looking at about $1,200 or more, because it is what it is. But the Norinco, you're looking at about $700 on the high side. That's what I paid, and I got it from an expensive place, well knowing that. So, I'm not saying that I got a good deal and blah blah blah. I'm just saying I'm happy with what I got, and that's all. So, there you go. It's got basically an adjustable front sight, has the flash hider. I don't know whether it's really a flash hider or not, but the muzzle, it's got this muzzle on it. I can change out the muzzles, put different things on, but I'm going to try it out with this. I mean, I don't know that much about this firearm. I'm nowhere near an expert of the M14. In fact, this is the first one I ever bought, and I don't know a lot about it, I'm going to be honest. So, I would be doing the unboxing of this, but I bought it off the shelf, as is, without the sling. So, there really is no unboxing of it. It's just, this is what I got. So, I'll quickly go into a little bit of the knowledgeable history that I have here. I have this book here that goes on about various firearms. It's the Jan's gun collection. So not every firearm is in here, but however M14 happens to be in here. So let's quickly read this. When the US needed a new 7.62mm rifle to meet the NATO standardization requirements, it seemed good sense to give the Garand a few tweaks. Give it a detachable magazine instead of the clip feed and rebarrel it. Job done. Or it would have been if somebody hadn't said, let's make it automatic. Provision of automatic fire with a cartridge as heavy as a 7.62 meant strengthening everything, and the result was a clumsy weapon. Most were converted by locking the system at semi-automatic, and with some modifications the weapon was reasonably serviceable. Early models had wooden furniture, then with a glass fiber handguard, finally with all synthetic furniture. And that's where we're at now, with the synthetic furniture. So, they basically had a fully automatic version of this. You can get the selector for it. However, if you do that, it's a prohibited firearm here in Canada, so I can't do that. But that was one of the features of this firearm, until they realized it didn't work as well being fully automatic. You really had to hold it down. It had a huge barrel drift when it was on fully auto. So they often just lock it in semi-auto. Therefore, now when we get our hands on them in Canada, they're all manufactured semi-auto. And because we're in Canada, even though you see a 20-round magazine on here, it's plugged to 5. It's just one of the issues we got here in Canada. We got to either suck it up or get a different kind of firearm if you don't like that. We got a 5-round capacity law here. My argument to that is, well, if you don't know how to reload, then you shouldn't be shooting. That's all. And nothing a 3-round burst can't handle. And when you're hunting, it's only 3 rounds anyway. So, I would say that just because this gun only holds 5 rounds, it's a piece of shit. If you think that you need more than 5 rounds, my thinking to you is you need to go practice shooting. Plain and simple. Now, I do enjoy shooting lots of rounds downrange and doing all that, so I get that point. I get it. But then go buy something that's going to do that for you, or go get a different licensing if you're here in Canada. You know what I mean? This here is non-restricted. It's going to be 5 rounds. Suck it up, Buttercup. So, there you go. One thing about it has a stripper clip ability, so you can top load it like you do the Garand. The difference between the Garand, of course, is detachable magazine, and it is heavier built. That's really the main differences. The difference between, of course, you can get 5-round magazines, so you don't have that wasted space up here in Canada. There's 5 rounds, let alone 20, and you got that much extra space waster. So if you get a 5-round sporter mag, this gun will be more compact, which is kind of cool. Another thing is you can put on a scope. You take off this, the one scope mount I do know of, you got to take this stripper clip off, and you can mount on a rail system to put a scope. So that's that. Safety on this firearm, it's up in the front of the trigger guard. There is a square block with a hole in it. It looks like a sling mount. It's not really a sling mount. I wouldn't recommend putting a sling on it because you can't use your safety if you were to. What you can do is, it's got to be cocked, ready before the safety will even slide in, and the safety slides in. So if you're shooting, you can just bring your finger forward, push that safety in, it's on safe, pull trigger, nothing happens. Let's say threat comes, or I want to take out my target, just flick it with my finger, just by pushing my finger forward, take safety off, and it can fire. So I quite like the safety of it. I really like where it's at. I think it's a good location. Now my guess is, if you really wanted to, you could probably lock it on safety. You could probably put a small little lock through that hole on the safety around the trigger guard, and that could be your trigger guard lock right there, and the gun would not operate. It would be... Now, I would never put a round in there and then put a lock on it. That sort of sounds stupid. But let's say you just wanted to lock it out temporarily. That's one option you could do. You could stick it into the action open. You could throw a cable lock through here, or you could put safety on, put a little teeny lock through there, and it would be safe. So, I don't know, it's kind of a cool little feature I just realized. So as you can see, this little thing, it's in, it's out. And yeah, my thing just tripped forward. It wouldn't have fired, it would have just cycled around if magazine was in. I think that happened because I touched it. Yeah, I just did that basically. So anyways, that's that. I like the safety feature of it, and it's one thing. The sights here, it's got windage elevation and height elevation on either side. It's just a wheel sights with a little ghost ring sight basically, or peephole, along with the front guarded bladed sights. So pretty cool. I've got a adjustable Allen set key in the front sight here on a dovetail to move it either side to side. I don't think there's any way to adjust height of your front blade. So you're set with the front blade where it's at, I believe. We get into the basically, we'll go into the stock. Inside the stock here, there is a pretty cool cleaning kit. However, half the cleaning kit I discarded. The tools were shit that came with it. I'll show you what's the only good parts, in my opinion. I'll show you what's crap. I tossed them out because I didn't want them taking up space and weight in my gun, and I couldn't figure it out. So what's the point of having something that you can't make work? So I just set them right here. I tossed them because I was like, what's the point? So what we have here is a little, this thing flips up on the butt, it just flips up, and in here there's another plate. On that there's a little button that you push on the opposite side of the two hinges, and it will open. Sometimes a screwdriver or a dime is what you'll need. So we open this up, and in here we've got a oil can and a set of rods, set of cleaning rods. In here is an oil can that basically has a little scoop and oil in it, which is quite handy, along with a set of rods and a cleaning head. So you put all this together and you got yourself a long cleaning rod set and a bore swab with a rag in here. Now it has a bore brush, but in my opinion, it's I shouldn't say it's garbage yet. I just haven't figured out how to work it. So I'm gonna go out and buy a new bore brush that's in the 30 caliber, because I'm very disappointed in this. I don't get how this works. It's glued in this, it seems. It looks like it's threaded on this side, but this side you can see a big gob of glue that's holding this on this big plastic wad. That will not fit in the breech or barrel. My opinion, I just want to ask them, what the fuck? If it doesn't work, it's garbage. It doesn't. I can't figure it out. It doesn't fit on my bore brush. If you can explain this, please let me know, because it's just going to end up in the landfill otherwise. Here, this is a funky fucking tool. This piece of metal comes with it, and oh, I get this. Okay, so this here is you put this on the end of the rod, and you can pull it or push it through to clean it, so it gives you a grabbing section. So this actually isn't that bad. I just figured it out. It didn't make much sense to me about 20 minutes ago, but this bore brush still does not make fuck all sense to me unless I just figured it out now, but I don't get it. I guess this threads off for some reason. I don't know. This looks like it threads off or something, but it won't come out. Yeah, this is still shit. But anyways, I've got this that comes with a nut on the end, a little screwdriver or something, from what it looks like, and something with a bunch of holes in it. And to be honest, it doesn't make much sense. But this, I can tell, the thread, the rod goes on the end of that, and it's sort of a grab hold. So I'm going to put this back into the gun just for the fuck of it, but I don't have much confidence in it. I don't really think it's that important. This thing's a real clusterfuck. It's actually really stupid. I wish there was a reason for what it was, but I can't make any sense of it. So, anyways, it kind of has a cleaning kit in the stock. The sling I bought separate, put it on. I'm pretty sure it's an M14 sling, if not for anything with this style of sling mounts. It would definitely work for the SKS as well. So, I haven't taken this gun apart yet, haven't figured that out. Something I'm actually going to go and study right now, and I'm going to give it a good cleaning before I shoot it tomorrow. And we're going to give it a try and see how accurate it is. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I think $700 is a little bit overpriced. Here I could have gotten for $400 in some other places. So, Island Outfitters is an expensive store. They are definitely $100 overpriced with everything there. The reason I go there is I'm in the middle of hell, like basically butt-fuck nowhere, and it's hard for me to get to any other place. Their staff are friendly enough, and their staff are relatively well informed. So I think that's what I'm paying for, is just for their help. So yeah, you're basically paying for their help and their expertise. But as far as the firearm goes, I quite like it. I don't think it's a bad firearm, I don't think. Well, at least yet. $700, I don't know if it's worth that, but it definitely was one that was quite high on the wish list, and I finally got it and quite like it. I'm probably going to sell now a couple rifles that I own to accommodate space for this one. And yeah, I've got too many guns, so that's basically it. The gas operation rod's down here in the bottom, and I don't know how that works yet, to be honest. I haven't, like I said, taken this gun down. So this isn't really a review necessarily, it's just showing the new gun and an overview. I'm showing little features that some people aren't showing with their videos. I see a lot of shooting videos, but never seen the safety on it, never seen the cleaning kit in the back, stuff like that. So I thought I'd show those. I really don't know what else to add. I think I mentioned about the magazine, that this is plug to 5. And I would like to get some sporter mags for it, so they're not so long and hanging down. It looks really cool with the big magazine on it, but as far as function goes and realism, you know, when you're shooting, it's like, well, you only got 5 rounds in there, so why need this extra space taking up that space? That's all. If I want to be a show pony and poser, as I say, and look badass, you go out with a 35 round magazine that's plugged to 5. I don't know, I kind of laugh at that personally. I do. I think it's silly. So, there you go. I've got pretty sure that's a bayonet mount on the front here. I'd like to get a bayonet for it. It's one of the things I think I will look for. I know a store that sells a lot of military paraphernalia, uniforms, badges, and they have a huge collection of bayonets. It's where I got one of my Lee Enfield bayonets, and I'll probably be looking for M14 bayonets when I'm there next time. So, yeah, I'll go into the ammo it shoots now. So we've got right here 7.62 by 5.1. These are a full metal jacket round. And I believe that these ones are actually non-corrosive. I hope they are. So that's full metal jacket. Solid steel with a copper coat. And we have these hunting rounds that are 308 Win. These are a zinc casing, it looks like, with a hunting round. Basically, same thing a 303 would shoot. As far as the hunting round goes, soft point, solid. Now 303 British would have the same head. That's what I mean. Different casing, but these are the same casings. Slightly different head. One's longer than the soft point. The full metal jacket's a little bit longer, but same caliber casing as far as diameter goes, and same diameter as bullet goes, just different length, but they'll still chamber into the same gun. So that's pretty cool. I did not know that. I was asking some questions. Some people I kept hearing 308 coming up with 7.62 by 5.1, and I was getting a little confused with this M14 because I'm like, but I thought it shoots 7.62 by 5.1. What about the 308 hunting round? It seems people keep mentioning that, so I was wondering if it was the same round. I put them side by side. They look, by my eyeball, the same, so I questioned a bit, and sure enough, it is the damn same thing. I wish it would say on the box 308 7.62 by 5.1, and it said the same thing on this box. But however, these two boxes say the same thing, but sorry, they say different things, but they are the same thing, which is, in my opinion, a bit of a mind fuck. So there you go. I don't know if you guys can see that clearly or not, but just take my word for it. So there you go. I don't really know what much to say about this firearm other than it's kick-ass, it feels great, and I quite like it. When I hold it just feels natural. That was the selling feature of it. When I looked at it, I was kind of holding it, I was like, I don't know, like, you can hear the rattling, right? It actually sounds like an airsoft gun to me. But once I shouldered it and looked down those sights and realized how light this firearm is to hold and how it felt just natural for me, I was sold on it. I mean, I got some guns that are awkward to hold, and the SKS is actually one of them. And I mean, I'm still shooting fine, but this one, it's just a real pleasure to hold for some reason. It's just holds so true. So I'm really looking forward to shooting it. Can't wait to try it. So that's the Norinco fuck, I keep forgetting. I think it's M305, basically the Norinco 308. I don't know why they gotta put so many goddamn numbers on these things, but that's what it is. So I'll just read off the numbers on this once I find it again. It's hard to see. There you go. It says M305, caliber 7.62 millimeter, and it has the serial number on it. So basically all the markings on it that I can see. So there's no fancy like symbols or anything like that on it. No stamp of, you know, reproduction stuff or re-verify. So you can tell it's a brand new gun. They haven't tweaked it and rebuilt it and tried to re-verify it and things like that. So it's pretty cool. The manufacturing goes, as far as it goes, I think it gets about a 9 out of a 10. I like everything the way it feels. It feels sound. It doesn't feel cheap. It's not like some of the machine stamp metal guns I've seen before. It feels, now some of the just cosmetics, like the clamp downs and things that are holding it, it looks like pot metal looking at it. I know it's not. It's just because it's casted or it's got ripples on it because they didn't take the time to finish and buff it. And if I really wanted to, I could go over that time myself and take all the infractions off it. I was looking down the sight. I saw that there was quite a big burr inside the sight here, and I took a needle nose, pulled the burr that I could off, and then gave a little file, and that took that down, and stuff like that. You know, it's because the quality control in China is way less than it is in the States, and that's what you're paying for when you get it cheap. So it's just what you got to know. So I don't know. I think I've said enough about this. I don't really think I could go on any more about it until I've shot it and learned a bit more about it. I'm very green to this gun. First time I ever really held an M14 was at the range a few weeks ago, and went to the store. Second time I ever held one was when I bought it. So there you go. Like I said, I still don't even know how to take this damn thing apart yet, and that's what I'm going to learn right now. So I hear it's easy. So there you go. Any comments, remarks, recommendations? I'd love to hear them. Yeah, let me know if you've got this gun, what you think of it. And don't tell me I paid too much. I already know I paid too much. I paid $200 too much for sure. And I probably could have got cheaper. Now I'm in Canada. I can't go to the States and buy guns. It's quite difficult. It's just better off just to get them here. So in Canada, automatically I'm going to pay a bit more than any American will in the States because, well, another thing is our beautiful dollar here loves to get robbed by the Americans. It's just the way it seems to work. They fuck up and we're paying for it. So, anyhow, oh yeah, one more last thing I'd like to talk, this is a little bit off topic of the M14, but when I went to buy ammo, just a quick little tipper, elections are coming up soon with the states, and like always, ammo gets scarce during that time. Seems to be the trend. I bought the 4 last boxes of this stuff. 4 last boxes in the store. They won't be getting any for a while, they said. Probably not for another 3 months. Why? Because, well, we are about to face probably another ammo shortage. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. I'm just saying, it might. These are a prediction I'm just making from what I'm seeing. The last time I saw this happen was when the last election was going on, and it got so bad we couldn't even buy 22 ammo up here in Canada. So DHS loves to buy it all up, and then all the gun toting radicals, they go ahead and they buy up as much ammo as they can, and then us Canadian preppers and hunters are left sort of with basically the crumbs, and then that gets bought up and there's none left. So yeah, if you're low on ammo, go out and buy some now. Probably is a good time. Just a little heads up. I'm not trying to fearmonger, nothing like that. I'm just saying that these are the trends that I notice. So there you go. Yeah, Norinco M14. I like it so far.